Hello! How's everybody doing? Today we're going over my favorite lower body foam rolling exercises. Rue is here with us too. She's going to walk in front of the camera about 3 or 4 times, so expect it. But we're going to go over how to do some myofascial release for everything from the rib cage down. So this is great for lower back pain, hip pain, knee pain, but it's also fantastic for runners, exercisers, anyone that uses their legs frequently probably would need a lot of these different exercises and routines. So we're gonna get right into it. This is my foam roller. I used it as a hammer once. Don't do that. But this is a great tool. We sell this at the office, and I'm gonna show you how to use it right now. So follow along if you have a foam roller with you. We're gonna go through everything from top to bottom. I like to typically start with the soles of the feet. Actually, Dave, do you know what a lacrosse ball is? The lacrosse ball? Sweet. All right, so we're going to start with the soles of the feet today. So, thank you. So, this is not yours. This is not yours. This is for healthcare. So, what you're going to do is you're going to put this on the bottom of your feet. You're going to roll around. You want to get the pads of the feet. You want to get all through the midfoot. You want to get right around the heel. What this is going to do is it's going to break up a lot of the adhesions. So if you take a look at your hand, check this out. So I can pull the back skin pretty far. But if you try to pull the front skin, you can't really get a good grip. And it's the same thing with your foot. So what that is that's the palmar aponeurosis and the plantar aponeurosis. Big fancy words that means really, really dense connective tissue. So we want to break this up because everything's connected. So everything from the bottom of my foot all the way up the back of my leg is going to be restricted by anything that's stopping motion. So the first thing we want to do is we want to start to regain the motion in our feet. So when you're doing this, it's good to hold on to something, but you don't absolutely have to. So what I'm doing is I'm starting right at the ball of the foot. I'm going to try to kind of grip my toes right around the ball. I'm trying to bend my foot. I really want to get all this stuff nice and loose. If you feel a bunch of little crunchies in there, you're in the right spot. You want to feel the crunchies. If it's painful, obviously, take off less pressure. But I'm going to go all the way to the inside of the foot. I'm going to go all the way to the outside of the foot. And I'm just going to do this until I feel like it's nice and loose. So if you're following along at home, I typically time, I like 30 seconds to 2 minutes. If I'm going to be doing more body parts, I want to, spend less time on each thing because I don't want this to take up my whole day. But it very, very easily could. If you're watching TV or something, you could easily do this for like an hour-long TV show, and you'd feel great afterwards. So, you have that option. But I'm going to a Bills game after this. Not actually the game. I'm going over to watch the Bills game at a buddy's house. But yeah. So yeah, I want to make sure that I'm nice and loose for when I get put through a table, and I still have to work on Monday. Alrighty. Oh, right in there. I need some good stuff in there. So I'm using a lacrosse ball for this because if I put any more weight if I put my whole body weight on a tennis ball, it's just going to crunch. So it's good to have a lacrosse ball in your arsenal of healing tools as well. But it's not essential, but I like to have it. If you have a tennis ball, it's going to be adequate. It's not going to be it's good. I don't want to say just as good because it's every different person needs different things. But I really, really like it. So after we do the feet, we're going to start on the calves. So what I like to do is we're going to do 2 feet at once. I'm going to go back and forth. I'm just slowly going closer and closer to my knees. Anytime that I feel something tender, so like right here, right on the inside right here. So I'm going to put it directly down. I want all the pressure going into that one spot. I'm going to put my other foot on top. And I'm just going to point and flex. Ooh, just like this. What that does is the skin stays still, but the muscle is getting pulled back and forth over the foam roller. So as I'm doing this, I'm gonna do maybe about 5 to 10, pointing toes back and forth. and then I'm going to find a new spot. I like to kind of, move it around a little bit because I know if it hurts in one spot, there's probably something that's close by that hurts as well. So I'm just going to dig in right in here. So I want to find about 3 different spots on both legs. As soon as I'm done with one spot, I'm going to go ahead and, bless you, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next spot. So some ground rules for foam rolling. Number 1, this isn't going to be super comfortable. It's meant to be a little uncomfortable. What you're doing is you're tearing up scar tissue. You're mashing these muscles. You're putting a lot of pressure to try to get things moving again. So expect that this is going to be a little uncomfortable. But it shouldn't be like searing pain. It shouldn't be absolutely miserable. It shouldn't feel like we do to you in the office. In the office setting, it's you have somebody with years and years of experience and lots of extensive training, making sure that what you're doing is safe and making sure that it's not going to put you in any kind of long-term pain. So it really shouldn't feel. Who's that? Ange Marie? What up, Ange Marie? Thank you. It shouldn't feel excruciating when you're doing it on your own. But you still want to get some. It should feel like productive pain. It should feel like enough pain to be able to kind of get things moving again and get right on the outside right here. What's that? Oh yeah, you definitely got to try this. Oh, it's so nice. If you haven't gotten a foam roller from the office, they sell them online. When you add shipping costs, it should be about the same as when you get them in the office. But it's absolutely fantastic, and it feels so good when it's done. While you're doing it, it can be a little rough. But that's what you need sometimes, you need some tough love to get things moving again. Oh, right here on the inside. A lot of people have this inside muscle right in here called your posterior tibialis muscle. The way to find it is you find your shin bone, and you're going to drop right off the side. As soon as you drop off the side of the shin bone, it's kind of right behind there. All along there's a whole bunch of pain hiding. Kind of right in there. So if you finally, right there. If you kind of dig in and then you point and flex right on top of that, it's going to feel amazing when you're done. Isn't that right? She wants to play with the little crossball so bad. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it like 3 more times for like hamstrings. You could use a crossball for posterior tibialis as well. This is a really great way to get inside there. You can get right on top. Oh my God. Yeah, just like that. Like I clearly need this, which is why I'm taking this time out of my day to make sure that I'm really digging in there. I'm going to do it on both sides because I'm sure I have something on this side too. Get out of here. Get out of here. People got to see what I'm doing. Just like that. So once again, find the tibia, drop off. It's right behind your tibia. And I'm just going to dig right in there. So after we get done with the calves, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move to the hamstrings. So our principle of point and flex for the calves works really, really well. But for the hamstrings, in this position, that's how far I can go. I can't really use the full range of motion of my hamstrings. So this isn't my favorite tool for the hamstrings, but it is okay. So let me show you what we do when we're trying to at least go through the hamstrings. So you can go back and forth like this. Obviously, the only 2 things that are touching the ground are my hands and my calves or my hamstrings on the foam roller. So if you're not able to lift your body up off the ground, then we need a modification. But also, if this is a good way to get the full muscle, you can go all the way in, especially on the inside, all the way on the outside. So you can get the whole muscle, some pressure on it, but you just can't get that back and forth movement. I love combining movement and massage. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get a chair. I'm going to put this right on my hamstring. Ooh. I can start by the knee and extend just like this. See how much more range of motion I get when I'm up on the chair? And I can slowly kind of work my way up. Oh my God. So being aware that there are some nerves back here, your sciatic nerve does run down the back of your hamstring. It goes behind the kneecap. It goes underneath the glute. But if something feels like it's burning, like if you feel something, going, any kind of numbness going into the foot, we know that's too much. Just, reposition, find a better spot that you feel like you're on something gummy. Ooh, like right there. So if you feel like something gummy, you're probably most likely on a muscle. And that's what we want to do. We really want to tear this muscle up right through here. So I'm slowly working up the muscle. I'm going all the way up to my glutes. Because the attachment of my hamstring is right at the bottom of my gluteal fold. So right at the bottom of the fold, you're going to go work all the way up. So right here is where my hamstring attaches. That's my ischial tuberosity. That's my sit bone. That's the bone that I sit on. That's that bony part of my butt. And so I'm going to work all in there, because right at where it attaches, if you go just a little bit to the inside, lean a little bit forward to bring some tension on the hamstring, oh my goodness, right in here is just absolutely fantastic. So I'm just going to dig around in here. It looks funny, so whoever just joined on, it looks like I'm funny, but I got a lacrosse ball under here. We're making healthcare. We're doing healthcare here. So I know it looks funny, but I promise this is beneficial. So after I get a whole bunch on one side, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm starting by the knee, because I'm working my way up from my feet, going up my posterior chain. Remember, everything's connected. Oh, Jesus. Right in here. I think my right side's a little bit worse than my left. Woo! Oh, it hurts so good, puppy. It hurts so good. Make me feel better. Yes. Okay. Gross. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to spend some time here. This hurts like hell. You're going to find that spot that really hurts too, and just dig in. Just get after it, It's when you're done with this, you should really feel like a totally different person. That's really the intent. We're slowly carving away the old Randy, the old tight Randy, and we're going to make a new loose, more flexible, much more mobile Randy when we're done with this. Oh my God. What are you laughing at? Dad jokes are popular. I'm not a dad yet, but I'm getting in the She's running a half marathon in February. She said, "Don't get me pregnant until I'm done with my half." I said, "Deal." But even then, well, we'll see. You can speculate in the comments section. I'm talking to my patients and all my fans. Oh, God. So we're slowly working our way up with the tennis ball. We're going closer and closer to the glutes. I'm spending more time on this leg because this leg needs it, and I want you to do the same thing. Whatever part of your body needs the most amount of care is what we're going to give it, all right? In the office, we only have a certain amount of time to designate to, each patient. Obviously, the people who need it more, we want to spend, an adequate amount of time to make sure that we're doing things. But we got to prioritize things in the office. When you're home, you have the time, you have the resources to be able to get in here. If that means you got to wake up 10 minutes early, or if you got to stay up 10 minutes late, take that time, because that's your sleep is very, very important, but so is your mobility. And if you're in pain, and if your pain is preventing you from getting a good night's sleep, then we really need to do a significant amount of work to get things moving again. All right, so right now, I'm at this kind of awkward place between my hamstrings and my adductors. So my adductors are on the inside of my thigh. My hamstrings are on the back of my thigh. So when I stand up, my hamstrings are going in one direction, and my adductors are going in a different direction. You get this kind of sliding back and forth of these muscles. And if that sliding surface is stuck, you're not going to have the range of motion. So I'm going to take the tennis ball, I'm going to break it up so that right in here slides a lot easier. So if it looks like I'm really getting up in there, it's because I am. And you should be too. Oh, Jesus. You got some little goobers. Got little goobers on your eye. Oh, my goodness. All right. So those are the hamstrings with the chair. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my glutes. So I can do the glutes with the tennis ball on the chair too, but I kind of prefer using the foam roller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross one leg over the other, and I'm going to put all my pressure on one glute at a time. Oof. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm holding, the only things that are touching the ground is one foot and one arm. So if you're not able to do this, use both arms. Find a way to kind of, maneuver yourself so that this is comfortable for you. Because if you got some shoulder pain, this isn't going to work. So what I recommend to all my patients, if you're not getting, if this is uncomfortable for you, I want you doing this up against the wall. You're going to stand up against the wall. You're going to put a tennis ball right in that little nook and just roll up against the wall. We can show that in another video sometime, a more gentle version of all these different stretches and exercises. I'm going to do the other side. Ooh. I'm going to pick this up. Oh my goodness. My right hamstring and my left glute so far have been needing some loving the most. Oh my goodness. So really get in there. Really, really try to dig out of there. I think you can still see it past Rue, but she's absolutely adorable. I can't move her all the time. She's sniffing my props that I'm using to tell me where the camera can see and where it can't see, so I try to stay in the shot. And I'm just talking nonsense. But yeah, so I'm digging into my piriformis muscle, I'm digging into my glutes, because those guys freaking need it. So once I've done the posterior chain, right, I've done the soles of my feet, I've done my calves, I've done my hamstrings, I've done my glutes. Now I want to do the front. I want to do the front of it. So I'm not going to do the top of my foot. There's very, very few things. Hello. Yes, I know. We'll play in a little bit. Thank you. So right through here, there's very few muscles in here, and it takes a really specific touch to make any real productive gains without the potential for injury. So if you want to get the top of your foot, ask me how to do it in person. We'll go over it very, very specifically. However, the first thing that I would advise you to do is to start with the top of your shin. So obviously we find the bone on the inside. We dropped off before for the posterior tibialis. And guess what? If we have a posterior, that means we also have an anterior tibialis right through here as well. So this is the outside gummy portion right through here. The best way, so there's two ways to do it. There's one way where you can kind of kneel on it and you go back and forth just in like this. You can do the same thing with the lacrosse ball on the chair. I like doing the tennis. I like using a tennis ball on the chair for this one. This one's kind of that's what I enjoy doing the most for that. Oh man. For me, it's right up kind of by the top of the knee. I got some tender stuff right in there. So if you have a squishy foam roller, this is going to bend it. This is going to put a really big dent in it. That's why I love the ones that we have in the office. The ones in the office are very, very firm, like dense foam. So that way you know that it's not going to bow. It's going to last a very, very long time. This one is an older one. This one I've had for years. So you can see it's starting to dent, right? We don't want that. We don't want that dent in there. So that's why I like the one that we have. It doesn't bow. It maintains its shape. It's going to last a lot longer than some of the other foam rollers that you get on Amazon. So you got to be careful. You want to make sure that your foam roller is going to last you at least a couple years. I've had this one for, I think, 5 years now. More? What do you think? Since before you? No? So somewhere between 5 and 8 years. I've had this one forever, and it cost me like, I think I got this one at Modell's. 6? 7? So our first year of dating, we got this? No, second. All right, 7 years. This is old as dirt. But I love this thing. I love it. It's the perfect one for me. So after we get done with the anterior tibialis on the front of the shin, then we're going to work our way towards the quads. This is by far the most uncomfortable thing you're going to do today, but it really is the best thing for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do one leg at a time. Watch this. If I do both legs at the same time, I hyperextend my back. I don't want to hyperextend my back. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do one leg at a time. So I'm in a better position. I'm not as compromised. I'm going to start right at the top of the knee. You never want to put direct pressure on the knee, so I'm going to go right at the top of it. But same thing as we were doing with the calves, we're going to go all the way to the outside and all the way to the inside. Oof, just like this. Oh my goodness. So we're getting all the way across. So I can already start to feel some stuff. So whenever I feel a tender spot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knee. We have that same principle of bringing the skin stays still, but the muscle moves on top of the foam roller. We're going all the way like here, just back and forth. Oh, man. So I'm starting here. I'm going back and forth. The inside is like always a spot. Everybody has stuff on the inside. I'm going to show you another way to hit that in a couple minutes after we go through both quads. But I'm working my way up. You can kind of roll your body up and down it, but I have limited space and I don't want to kick the piano. What's that? Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to live. And I'm not going to live if I kick the piano. Ugh. Ooh, okay, there we go. That's some space. Oh, right in there. Right in there. I'm just going to go back and forth. I know. You can sense my pain. You can sense my pain. You're so cute. You're so cute. Oh, shit. Don't tell her. Ooh. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So the quads are a really, really wide muscle. My quads start all the way out here. This is where my hamstrings are. Everything above kind of this white line, everything above this line right here, this is all quads. When people say your IT band is just this very, very dense, thin layer of connective tissue that lies on top of your quads. It goes from the outside of your hip down to your knee, but directly underneath that, this is all quadricep. We want to, when you're trying to, so this is a really, really great move to get rid of knee pain. When we're trying to get rid of knee pain and attack the quad, we want to make sure we're getting this whole area, the whole top, and we're actually going to go right to the inside, right through here. So while I'm rocking back and forth all through here, I'm really trying to explore, get the entire muscle. So that's why I'm going all the way out, all the way to here, right in here. That spot sucks. Oh, Jesus. So keep in mind, I'm still doing the same leg. I haven't switched legs yet. We're taking some time. The golden rule is kind of 2 minutes is a therapeutic dose. But if you've done this, like I've done this before, I'm familiar with how much I can take. I know how sore I'm going to be afterwards. And I've decided that this needs some extra time. So you can make those judgment calls on your own. But if you're a patient, I'm going to tell you how long I think you need, and then we'll adjust it based on your results. So everything that we're doing today can be modified. Everything can be made more specific for you as a patient. But in general, for the average person that wants to avoid coming into the office, that wants to stay healthy and stay mobile, I'm going to say, give or take 2 minutes per area. But we're working our way all the way up to the top of the hip. Your quads are a very, very large muscle, so we're going all the way up to about your waistline. Oh, and then I'm doing the other side. I'm going to switch sides. Whoa. There we go. Same thing, starting from the top of the knee, all the way in, all the way out. And then you're bending it as soon as you find those tender spots. Like right in through there. Like I said, the inside of the knee often sucks, as does mine. And then you're just going to keep moving back and forth, keep things nice and loose, working our way all the way up to that hip. Oh, the outside is killing me. Oh boy. I don't know if you're keeping track at home. We have right hamstring, left glute, left cat quad. So these are my problem spots, and I'm going to keep track of these because next time I want to see if they're improving. I want to see if they're getting worse. I want to see if there's new spots. So next time, if I only have 5 minutes, if I got to do some foam rolling really, really quick, then I know the 3 spots I'm instantly going to hit are my right hamstring, left glute, and left quad, right? So like keep track of your problem spots. You know, if you're working out and you know that you're doing a really, really hard workout that day, then you can tailor these specifically to what you know the workout is going to be, which muscles the workout is going to be using. But if you have the same pains over and over and over again, then these problem spots are what you want to pay most attention to. You know, we want to be as productive as possible. We want to utilize our time effectively. But today, we're just kind of going over everything. So this isn't my, you know, normal daily routine, but this is my favorite lower body routine to make sure that I hit everything, to make sure that I'm, you know, exploring everything I need to explore, and make sure that I'm addressing all of the major issues that can possibly cause pain later on down the road. So if you're trying to prevent pain in the future, this is, oh my God, this hurts so much. But this is the perfect kind of routine to make sure that we're preventing pain in the future. Ho. Right in there. Left quad sucks. I'll take the pepper. Give me the spicy peppers. Just make this go away. Holy shit. Oh, God. The whole freaking thing, all on the outside, just sucks. Oh, man. I whine so much when I'm doing this. But I'm sweating. And I can whine a little bit. It's okay. No one's going to judge me for it, right? You guys aren't going to judge me for whining. Oh, if you're still here, drop something in the comments. Let me know you got to the quad section. Let me know that you got to see my pain face. Oh, Jesus. Woo! Okay, that's enough of that. So, we got the front of the calves. We got the quads. Now we're going to the insides. The insides are a super neglected part of the leg. It's very, very common that you know, people miss these and they don't stretch them out, but these have a lot to do with knee pain. So what we're going to do, the way that we're going to set it up, we want to get to the inside. So I'm going to lay on my stomach. I'm going to lift. So this is me lying straight. I'm going to lift my knee all the way up until my hip is at a 90-degree angle. I want my legs straight out to the side. I'm going to start, because I'm not going to put direct pressure on the kneecap, I can start all the way to the outside. And I'm just going to go just like this. Ooh, whenever I find a tender spot, extend the leg. So I'm slowly bringing it in closer and closer to the groin. But like I said, the inner knee spot, this, like that spot we were talking about before, this is the best way to get that inner knee spot. Oh my goodness. So I'm hoping you're following along at home, and I'm hoping that you're feeling what this feels like, because it's going to feel a lot better when you stand up. Believe me, all the pain and suffering you're putting yourself through right now is going to be so worth it. Oh my God, right in through there. And I'm just extending that knee, because like we said, you know, about those sliding surfaces, same thing. Inside of the thigh and the top of the thigh have a lot of sliding surfaces that go back and forth. And so when I'm doing this, it's pulling at that scar tissue. It's really trying to, it's starting to, you know, break up that scar tissue, any kind of adhesions that have been there because I've made you know, not been doing this as often as I should have been doing. I'm sure you guys might be able to empathize, but so I'm just digging back and forth. I'm really trying to get some movement in there. Oh, you can bring it up a little bit higher. Again, I'm trying not to kick things. Oh, right in through here. And I'm just going all the way up and all the way up, closer and closer to the groin. If you're just joining us, it looks like I'm doing something weird, but guess what? This is healthcare. Oh, this is for my hip and knee and lower back health. Oh my God, right in through there. So keep on working at this. I'm going to switch sides. Same thing, we're starting all the way on the outside, working our way in closer and closer to the hip. This side is, ooh, I spoke too soon. I was about to say this side isn't as bad, but guess what? There's a spot. I found it. Found that spot. Oh, Jesus. So this one anyone can do. This one I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my shoulders. It's pretty easy. I'm just kind of moving my hips as I'm rolling side to side. If you can't get your knee up this high, that's okay. You know, do the best you can. but this position is putting a lot of pressure on the inside of the leg, and it's tearing up a lot of adhesions. You know, every time that I find something that's tender, I'm moving it back and forth. If you see me kind of rocking back and forth, that's trying to, I'm loosening it up because it hurts so damn bad when I extend it. So this loosening it up is going to make it hurt a lot less. This is kind of the gentle, when you do the pressure without the movement, it's not going to be as uncomfortable, but also it's not going to be as productive. So I'm kind of balancing between what I'm able to tolerate and what I know is going to be good for me and what's going to be effective. Ooh! I'm just working closer and closer up towards my my groin area. I'm extending every time I find a terrible spot. Oh, just like that. Oh man, I got some good spots in here. So we're just working. We're working the muscle. We're still moving. I want you at home to start keeping track of your problem spots. You know, the better track you have of those problem spots, the better you are at making sure that your time is being spent the best that it can be, and you're really hitting the areas that you need to hit in order to get yourself out of pain or keep yourself out of pain or be able to run faster, lift heavier. You know, when you have that scar tissue, it limits motion, it limits the amount of force that you're able to produce. So by breaking up these areas, you're going to get stronger. You're going to get faster. It's you know, the flexibility is key for a lot of different sports and different athletic movements. Ooh, alrighty. So we got the adductors, we got the quads, we got the glutes, we got the hamstrings, we got the calves. Now I'm going to do the lower back. Lower back is super easy, but we want to make sure you're supporting your head. I don't want you holding up your head on your own. I want you to use your arms to keep your head up. And I'm just going back and forth. I'm going all the way down to my tailbone. And then I'm going to go all the way back up. Hit the shoulders, hit the mid-back. Right through there is tender for me. Wherever it's tender for you, just dig in. I like to kind of extend over. Oh, I like to extend over the foam roller just like this. This is really nice. This is super comfortable. Oh. Woo. And you're going to take as much time as you want here. This is basically your rest time. If you hear a couple pops, you can get a couple pops in there. Woo! And that's it. You know, it's a long time, but it's worth it. Again, these are $14 at the office. They're $9 if you get them. You know, with a package deal. Definitely give them a try for yourself. You're going to absolutely love them. Ask any questions in the comment section. I will respond to them as soon as I get them. And go Bills. And go Bulls. Bulls are 2-0. What? So hopefully another great season. But yes, if you guys have any questions about the foam roller, please ask me. Come on into the office. If the foam roller is not working and you're still in a lot of pain. Also, if you like my haircut, say so. Because I think it looks great. And I want your opinion, though, too. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.